Now that you've analyzed your entry-level assessments and done a reflection on them, you're going to choose your focus students based on those results. You're going to have 3 focus students and then 3 alternates. The alternates are just there in the event that one of your focus students is unexpectedly absent for a long period of time in the middle of your inquiry, or in case one of them transfers out. This has happened before, so we always pick an alternate as a just in case. What you'll want to do with those alternates is collect and take scanned copies of their work or take photos of their work as you go through the entire inquiry period, and then you can do away with those. You can just delete them if your focus students stay with you for the entire inquiry. We don't want to gum up the works by having all of your alternate work as well as your focus student work. That's just going to confuse you, your CT, and your portfolio reviewer. So again, you're keeping those in a safe location so that if you need to use one of them, you can. All right, so you want to choose an English learner for your focus student number 1. For some people who work at a low incidence school, this might be difficult. What I suggest you do is look at anybody who has been reclassified. So it could be somebody who is not English only, is fluent now, but at some point was an English learner. The more recent, the better. And you can find out that information on ORS. And then some of you have many to choose from. So what I would suggest is looking over their entry-level assessment and finding your focus students as much as you can to be all over the spectrum in their entry-level assessment, so that when you focus on your focus students, you're able to differentiate for students who can't meet the standard and maybe even students who meet or exceed the standard. So you'll choose a focus student who is an English learner. You'll choose one from special populations, and that can be a student who has an IEP or a 504, a student who is at risk, or it could be a GATE student or an especially high student. Those are also special populations. And then focus student 3 is your choice. You could choose somebody who is difficult behavior-wise, or you could choose a student who tends to fade into the background. They're just like a straight-up C student, and you kind of don't even notice that they're there, and you want to make sure you get them engaged in the learning. So you have a lot of choice here. You're going to place their name, first name, last initial, under the achievement level based on their entry-level assessment. All right, and then down here, you're going to put their names again into this table, and then you're going to speak with some specialist at your school based on each of those focus students. So your English learner, you probably want to talk with maybe an ELD teacher or your ELD lead at your school. Maybe you'll talk to a teacher who has a significant portion of English learners in his or her class. You can get some strategies from them. And you're really going to look for what support and resources you're going to have to provide for that student. You're going to do the same with special populations. Maybe talk to your RSP teacher or special day class teacher about your student with special populations. And then your choice student, maybe you're a GATE teacher or a counselor or even someone who teaches the same content or the same grade level. So I gave you some suggestions, and I also tied it to that PWIL USD strategic initiative from the PWIL USD Advantage.